Third Phase Moon, welcome back, everybody. Let's bring in the callers right now. We are live. Let's go to area code 713. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? Where are you calling in from, sir?
Calling from Houston.
All right, man. You got something you want to share with the world tonight? What do you got?
Yeah, so I was driving home after taking the family out to eat, and it was a late dinner, like on a Wednesday. It happened about a couple of weeks ago, but we were heading home in the car, coming down the boulevard, and then we see it was strange. It was like a sphere, like a silver sphere, but you could say it was luminescent, and it was falling from the sky. It was close up. It could have been maybe no more than 7 miles or 5 miles in front of us, but it just fell, like as if you throw a ball, and it, and the ball from like on top of your house, and it just falls like that. That's what it looked like. So it was strange. It just happened. It was glowing or pulsating, if you will, and it had a little tail on it. So I saw that for as far as until it finally landed or crashed, whatever happened to it. But it was a falling object. And so, anyways, we were about 3 miles away from the house. And by the time I got to the house, we're still looking at the same area, and I see this helicopter go by. So once I got to my house, we had helicopters going through looking for something, and we have these drones that were by a military base there, or by NASA. But these guys were out there, and there was like five craft at a time. There was helicopters and there was these drones flying through until 2 a.m. in the morning. I passed out about midnight, and my wife woke me up at 2 in the morning, and I could hear the planes still going. And they were looking for something. I don't know what it was. But what I saw and where these things were flying were all in the same place. So I just wanted to share that with you.
It sounded like there was some kind of pursuit of an unidentified flying object, whatever you witnessed that night. Sounds quite incredible. Let's bring in another caller. Let's get to him. Got so many callers. 501. You're live, Third Phase Moon. Hey, how's it going?
Hey. Going good, man.
All right, you got something you want to share tonight?
Yes, I do. I just sent you an email through your Facebook. I recorded a UFO. It's not very good footage. I used my iPhone 3S, and basically New Year's Eve of, I think it was 2012, I had a feeling to go outside, and about 9:30 at night, and it was New Year's Eve. And anyhow, so I went outside, and freezing cold, and this UFO came down, and it was one of those that changed colors, one of those orbs that changed colors, and it literally got within 50 feet of me and my son and my other son, and I got a really good look at it. I mean, it had a stem on the top, and it was like plasma, gas type, changing colors real fast, and it's really, really beautiful. And anyhow, it came down to, within like 50 feet, like I said. And I wanted to share that with you.
That's great. We have so many callers, so many UFO sightings coming in, and it's all happening within this week. Things are going down, people. Let's get to another caller. 401, you're live. Third Phase Moon, welcome to the show. .401 dropped out. Let's go to 863. You're live. Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Lakeland, Florida.
Welcome to the show. You got a story you want to share tonight? Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I was just listening to the guy from San Francisco talk about when he was in Las Vegas. And I was thinking about it because, I called in before and was talking about, my uncle who, he retired from the Air Force, but he still works at the Air Force Base. And, the things that he's seen already, it's like he's numb to a lot of the UFO talks because he knows, I know my aunt, she just retired from the Pentagon 3 years ago. It's like we're numb to it because we know that it's out there. They're the only ones that seen paperwork and actually seen it themselves, like up close. I seen a UFO as a child, but it's kind of like you said and what the guy said. It's, like you were just saying, it's the things that's been happening, especially with the SpaceX, exploding. It's kind of like something big is about to happen. And I think that they're going to either be preparing us for it or it's going to happen on a day where they can't deny that this is a UFO that, that appeared or it's going to be on a, maybe the presidency when it changes hands. She'll, Hillary or thank God if Hillary wins, but if Trump wins or Hillary, whatever, they'll be at their, doing their speech. And then, like, a UFO would just pop up or something, and it's like, it's going to be something that's going to happen like that that's going to be undeniable of what it is there. And, I just think that everybody needs to start getting their minds charged up to really, like, witness these things because it's like it's happening, it's going to happen, and it's going to happen soon.
So you say your aunt, yeah, that's for sure. So you say your aunt just retired from working at the Pentagon?
Yeah, she worked at the Pentagon, for maybe like 35 years at the Pentagon.
So was she there in September? She was there September 11th. We just passed the anniversary of that.
Right.
That
she was there then. She worked right up on. Matter of fact, she was second. She was two people under Colin Powell, the Pentagon. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like she was there.
What does she think?
As far as 9/11 goes?
Yeah, she was there.
As far as 9/11 goes, was that there's a lot of tomfoolery going on. Because the thing is, one thing she did tell us, I'm not going to give her name because I don't want to get in trouble. But the thing is, one thing she did tell us is that it looked more like a missile attack than a plane hitting the Pentagon.
Yeah.
And one thing that she said, as well as with the Twin Towers, she said that one of the planes, it looked like one of our cargo planes that I guess we send over packages or rations over to the, overseas. She said it looked more like a painted cargo plane.
Did she have any insight? What about alien intervention or alien contact? Any insight from her on that?
The only thing that was said as far as, UFO, ufology goes was the fact that they know that there's other races of aliens out there. They haven't seen them, but they know that as far as the UFOs go, my uncle, which is my dad's twin brother, he saw it firsthand. He saw them firsthand as far as the craft goes, seen the paperwork on them. Because they actually have to deliver this stuff. Like, they're not actually flying these things around when they, either they down some of them or some of them might just activate after years of already being here. Because there was one case where I guess he said it was already here. And I don't know if it crashed like 100 years ago or something. I can't remember the timeline on that. But he said just activated one day and they wrapped it up because they didn't know if it was a bomb or what it was, but just activated one day, and they had that they didn't fly it, to, I think it was like Ohio or something like that. I don't know the significance behind all of that, but they drove it to Ohio. So it's one of those things where it's like, as far as the craft goes, they'll tell you, like, if right now, if I was, if they were here with me right now, they would tell you right off the back, like, hey, they're real, ain't nothing we can do about it. They're already here, nothing we can do. But it's like
Matt,
talking about...
Yes, the information that you're sharing right now from your uncle, your father's twin brother, that's super cool. You get him on the radio show, invite him on to Third Phase Moon. We've had a lot of whistleblowers lately come out that have worked with top secret clearance, giving us information that they think that the world should know. So tell them that. Tell them we're going to be back next week, Friday. Get your uncle on, all right?
I'm going to definitely try. And I appreciate you taking...
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Matt, do it. Because we got to get disclosure out. We got to get it out now. Area code 561. You're live, Third Phase Moon. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Is that area code 585? Hello? Area code 585.
Yeah.
You there?
Yeah. How you do, Blake? It's me, Jose, again.
Hey, Jose. How's it going, man?
Not much. Hey, so you ain't have no more. Have you heard any more about Kelly? So,
Yeah, that's a good question, Jose. We're going to be getting Kelly and Fred, two whistleblowers that have never spoken before. We're going to try and organize them together on the show. Fred really thinks that she might know who Kelly is. Both of them are going through some procedures and medical things, so we're trying to get them on. Hopefully we can do it and get them spilling the information as it was coming in last week. Let me tell you, heard over a million times on Third Phase of Moon, Kelly and Fred's whistleblowing information in regards to reverse engineered technology. It's all on YouTube. Thanks for the question, sir. Jose, let's go to area code 317. You're live, Third Phase Moon. Welcome to the show. Yes, yeah. Gotta remember 317 is the people. What? Okay. We got an anonymous caller on. Anonymous caller, you're making some ruffling noise. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi, Blake. How are you?
Hey, how's it going? Who's this?
This is Sophia.
Hey, Sophia, how's it going?
It's good.
So it's good.
I listened to your calls last week, and a couple things bothered me about Kelly, and I really feel like making a comment about it. Is that okay?
Sure, no problem. Go ahead.
She loosely let go of Mr. Schuessler's name, and he's been worked for Houston for a long time, and for the center, and he's very much for UFOology, I guess is the way to put that. He's, part of MUFON, for heaven's sake. I know about security clearances, and you don't give outside contractors that are not technical, a super clearance. It just doesn't happen. It takes a long time and a lot of moving through the government and them training you and trusting you to get security clearances. And once you get them, you don't just walk in there and get a security clearance. You take the oath. And I don't believe her. I don't believe a word she says. I have worked for the government. I do have security clearances. They're for not, deep or big or anything like that, but what they are is enough for me. What I went through is enough for me to know that there's no way. Also, you don't dummy down technological information for the public. They either understand it or they don't. NASA's not in the business of caring whether you understand it or not. Neither is the government, actually. And they prefer it. If you don't understand it, you don't understand it. And that's the other thing that bothers me. There are no contracting writers who do that. This I know for a fact. And I'm quite sure that you are aware of who Mr. Schuessler was. If you wanted to give him a call and talk to him about it, he'd talk to you about that. Exactly. I read some of your people who write comments in the comment boxes, and they were dead on. Most of the people did not believe that she was legit. And I just wanted to put my 2 cents in. That's all.
Hey, no problem, Sophia. That's what we do right here at Third Phase Moon. Let people share their opinions, their comments. And, Kelly's, when she called in, she said that she wanted to share something. And, that's what we do. We let people share their stories. And immediately there are some people that claim that they have top secret clearance, and such as yourself, Sophia, that have questioned Kelly's story. So I'm actually reaching out to Kelly to bring her back on the show, along with Fred. Fred's not his real name, but he's the one that, blew the whistle on Area 51 and Lake Pond and a lot of stuff that he worked on. I'd just like to get you guys all together so you can kind of like cross-examine, question each other, see on how things go. You know what? Tell you what,
that would be interesting.
That would be very interesting. That would be amazing. You know what? Let's bring on F1. F1 he's worked for the Navy. He's had top clearance access, and he chimed in about Kelly as well last week. And I wanted to get him on. Maybe he's got a question for you as well. F1, you there?
Yeah, how you doing? I'm just kind of snickering and laughing because, as you know, you took my call late in the show after it was almost off the air, and I told you what I thought. And it's funny, after I said that to you over the phone lines, all these comments came in kind of backing up what I said, and here's another caller backing up what I know and I feel. And that's why I called you, because I was just calling BS on Kelly. Kind of interesting.
Yes. Yep, sure, definitely. What about Sophia?
There were a couple of.
Go ahead.
There were a couple other things that she said, words about alien types and stuff like that. She got half of it right and half of it wrong. It's like she got a little bit of information and then she didn't follow through with looking to see what that really was. And if she was who she said she was, she would have been able to give you the correct terminology for it in the first place. And there's no beta aliens. There's nothing with beta in the name anywhere that I'm aware of. And there are other kinds, but she just threw it out there, and I went, "Oh man, no way, not her. It's not real."
Can you give us some details on what you know, what you could share with us on Third Phase to maybe correct, some of what Kelly was talking about? Give us what you believe is the real deal.
There are grays. There are short grays and tall grays. There are, they're like lizardy types, and they aren't exactly friendly. I think our government is afraid of them. From what I understand, the grays are what's the word I'm looking for? They watch us. They've been around a long time. They do have something to do with us. They have their little programs and whatever. A lot of people want them to just show up one day. It's not that it won't happen that way. Everything is up to us. I mean, for centuries, every people that have been on this earth have all been given the knowledge to know that we make our own decisions about our own lives. And, we can either kill ourselves or move on. And the Greys are that ancient. They've been around that long. there are a couple of I've heard of a group that they call Pleiadians. Am I saying that right, F1? I know that constellation is the Pleiades, and if I was going to name them, I'd say the Pleiadians, but they call themselves the Pleiadians. That's a group that's off the charts. I've never walked into one for real. I don't. Channeling is not something that is legit, and yet they talk like they are, and they don't say much. Their context and terminology is just a lot of hoo-ha, I guess is the best way to put that. There are two other types of beings that I've run across, and I'm not sure how to describe one of them because they are very transdimensional, and they don't really materialize fully in front of people. They're like a shadow, and I call them the shadow people. And they come
Sophia,
and they go. Mm-hmm.
So could you tell everybody that's listening right now, obviously when you're making contact with these extraterrestrials, that this was at a military base. Could you tell everybody where this military base was, where this interaction was happening?
Most of my been followed, and I've moved around geographically. When it started, I was outside of Homestead Air Force Base on it in Miami, and then after that, places in the country. When they want to make contact, and most people will tell you this who are truly being contacted, they'll follow you wherever you go. They have a way of keeping up with you, and a lot of us are. And somehow, the ones that I'm aware of, we've all had something done to us in one way or another, medically and that's the reason we're followed. It's like an experiment. They do give good concerns about us, and they don't want us to just. I mean, a lot of people describe very bad experiences and things like that, and it's probably because they came to and they didn't know what was happening to them. And I can understand how anybody would freak out if that happened to them.
Sure. That would be, absolutely. Coming in contact with an extraterrestrial alien would freak anybody out. Unless it's happened to them over and over again. Like a lot of the callers that have called in over the years that have these experiences happening to you, and you can't hide. Just like Sophia said. Sophia, F1, standby. More callers. I got to get to them. Area code 573. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Blake. What's going on?
Oh, just doing our Third Phase Moon radio show, sharing UFO stories. You got one tonight?
Yeah, I live in St. Charles, Missouri, and I go to UMSL, which is University of Missouri St. Louis. So I commute to school there, but we have the Katy Trail, if you've ever heard of that, in St. Charles, which it kind of goes throughout the whole entire state. I kind of forget how long it is, but I do a lot of cycling and whatnot. But it was kind of weird, just over the past couple months, I've been seeing these weird orbs in the sky. You know how like some people say they'll see UFOs. Sometimes you can see the actual object, But I was kind of seeing just these, bright flashy orbs kind of sitting in the sky, and some of them looked like they were just kind of moving around a little bit. But it was just kind of weird. Just we were kind of biking, and the one time that I didn't have my helmet on, it was just kind of weird. I just saw a flash, and I'm always biking with my cousin, because he goes to the same school too, and it was kind of weird. I tripped over, or I hit a pothole on my bike, and I just kind of hit my head pretty hard, and I passed out, but I couldn't really make for sure, but it just kind of seemed like a weird experience, where just something was trying to contact with me, just it kind of looked like a gray alien, but everything just kind of seemed kind of hazy, But it was a kind of I don't know if anyone had any weird instances where one person had I don't know if it's almost like a spiritual encounter, but it just seemed kind of odd, as if I was just kind of in a whole different place being examined, as if they were trying to communicate with me. But my cousin said I was just there unconscious, but I didn't know if anyone has ever come on the show and had some sort of encounter, any type of hallucination. I don't know if you had any input on that, but
there's a little bit more to it that's kind of uncomfortable, but it's just kind of weird. Just a weird situation that a guy went through, you know, almost as if it was like a bad nightmare. But just kind of the weird flashes that a guy was seeing in the sky, just kind of like the little orbs, you know. It's like that's been kind of a reoccurring thing that I've seen, just kind of in the area. I don't know if anyone else in the St. Charles, St. Louis area has seen them or whatnot, but it's just kind of weird.
Yeah, UFO encounters and interdimensional beings could cause weird experiences in your life. That's for sure. It can almost seem surreal, beyond your consciousness. You can't comprehend what you're looking at, what you're experiencing. So it almost seems like a dream state, I'd imagine. Yeah, I know what it feels like. Yeah, it feels like a dream state, people. Let's get some more callers. Thank you, sir, for calling in. Let's get to area code 715. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Where are you calling in from?
Wisconsin, man.
All right. You got something you want to share tonight?
Yeah, I was out today. I brought my shepherd outside, stretched a little. Sky was clearing up. I heard a jet coming, you know. And I'm out in the country here. No big deal, but it's like something flies over. I like to, you know, see what's up. Here comes this. It was a jet, but it had no wings, none. And I just had to tell you that. I don't want to take up your time, but I did see it. I didn't take my camera outside. You know, I mean, who's going to expect a cylinder going by sounding like a jet and no wings? And it was below the clouds, that little bit of clouds that was up in the sky, you know, kind of fuzzy cloud, thin. It was below that. Yeah, it was, I've never seen it, so it's like some more secret government work, I would imagine. You know, because I know no extraterrestrial is going to sound like a jet. They're not in the fossil fuel. So just wanted to tell you that.
Sure. Yeah. You know, supersonic jet.
You know, somebody else might call in with this same sighting. Who knows?
Okay, when did this happen? And what, a supersonic jet with no wings, Wisconsin, when?
That was about 6 o'clock this evening here. I'm outside now with my dog. If you hear a squeak.
Wow.
But anyway, it was something. I mean, I'm like standing here going, "Oh my God, there's no wings, man!" And it was quite large, so it's a cylinder, but it sounded just like, you know, your normal jet at a lower altitude. And I thought nothing of it, but I always want to see if it's military or passenger. Or there was no trails, absolutely nothing, clean. And it was like, oh my God! I called a couple of friends because they know, and they know I'm not pulling nobody's leg over a thing like that. It's like the government has got something with no wings. Yeah, I wish I would have had my phone with, but I wasn't going to run in the house because it wasn't, you know, time.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I bet you felt like you wanted to duck and hide for cover.
No. See, I search all the time. I've been doing this for like 5 years now. In '79, we seen triangle up in Shell Lake, Wisconsin, and I play in bands and trying out for this band out in the country. And I got there, and they're like, "Yeah, there's UFOs out here all the time." And I thought, "Oh, great, here we go, you know, some acid heads or something, you know." And so I set up. I want to, you know, see what the hell they got for music. Well, I blew that off because I didn't believe in it. On the way home, my wife goes, "What the hell is that?" And I looked out the windshield, man. And I'm like, "Well, they weren't kidding. You know immediately." That was my first time. And it got out, and it shot in the face after about, I suppose a minute and a half. I was staring at it, and up she went so fast you couldn't, no way take the, you know, oh no, it suck you to the wall.
Wow. You know, incredible. Wisconsin, just within a couple hours, did anybody see a supersonic jet airliner without any wings fly over Wisconsin. Videotape it if you have. Submit it to Third Phase Moon. We want to see it. Thanks for calling in, sir. Thanks for calling in. Let's bring in some more callers. Let's bring them in. Area code 443. You're live, Third Phase of Moon. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good evening. How y'all guys doing? It's the Truth from Baltimore.
Yo, Truth, how's it going, man? How's it going?
Hey, man, everything is going good, man. I'm just telling y'all again, man, look, what we first got to do is we got to use common sense, guys. Come on now. We got to use common sense. We're hearing about all these planets being found, being discovered. They're setting us up for disclosure. Okay, that's how they're going to do it. They can't just give it to us as if, letting us know they're here, they're all around us, this, that. They can't hit us like that all at one time, because y'all got to remember, back in the day when they did War of the Worlds, back on the radio, it was just a radio broadcast. It wasn't real. But people believing that it was real, a couple people actually got killed during that broadcast. So the government looks at all these things that has taken place in the past, and then they use this to come up with ways of covering up now and also in the future. It's a connective effect. So what we got to do is we got to use our common sense. We had the guy, Tony Moreno, came on not so long ago, and he claimed that he knew for a fact that it was at least graves here. And he said that the graves that were here that he knew about, we couldn't do nothing with them. Okay, so that's just one race that we know of that's definitely here. And what I'm going to say is, if it's just one race that's here that's interacting with human beings, then come on, guys, what is going on? What is going on? I mean, is normal what we believe normal is perceived to be? Is abnormal what abnormality is perceived to be? You know what I'm saying? Do we really know? Nobody really knows everything that's going on, what's happening, but we do know that something is going on, and we do have them admitting to it. So come on, guys, man, this is happening. That UFO blew up the rocket, the SpaceX rocket. It blew it up. Okay, this is things that these things do on a regular basis, but they do it under the cover of accidents. You know what I mean? Like they make it look accidental, but they're really behind a lot of things that's taking place. And I talk about a lot of this in the book. As I said, it will be out in February. You guys all mentioned in the book. I thank you guys again for everything that y'all have done for us. And all of the UFO and alien experiences, the people that's really having these experiences, guys, we need to come together, man. We need to unite. We need to come a little bit closer, and we need to start looking out for each other. So I got an idea, like with this chalice, F1, flip it for you. We know what we're talking about. Okay, a lot of what's going on, we know what we're talking about because we're really experiencing this stuff. We're really experiencing it. So we're the one who need to be putting this information out there. We need to put it out there as much as we possibly can. Even if people don't listen, guess what? We still need to put it out there. Even if they look at you like you're crazy, guess what? We still need to put it out there because it needs to be known. It needs to be known. And us communicating amongst each other, this can be our protective shield. No matter what the government do, if we stay together and we stay tight and we keep our information flowing and we keep doing what we're doing for this planet, eventually it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off. I mean, come on, guys. UFOs in the news damn near every single day. They've been seen damn near in every single state, every country. Come on.
Let's do this. Let's do it. Let's do it. The truth is right. Great message. He knows what he's talking about. Let's make things happen. Let's make things happen. What I see right here is we got two area codes coming in from 561. I'm not sure if it's related. Let's bring in the first caller, 561. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how's it going? We got two callers coming in from 561. Do you got something to share? You got that? Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm going to try to run you through 40 years really quick because I know you're pressed for time. About 1974 was my first experience with a UFO. Actually got to experience zero-G, which was kind of cool. Experienced that for a few years in Long Beach, California. Then we moved to Hudson Valley, New York. And let me tell you what, that was a ride. In 1976, living at the farm on Lucas Avenue, had one of the triangle ones come over. You know, it's about 8 or 9. Fine. Started getting visits after that. You know, told my family, told my brother. He was in the same room with me. They didn't take his ass, but they took mine. And my family told me, oh, it's just witches, you know. So it kind of freaked me out after that. So the times weren't as fun, all right? So kind of lose track of it for a little while. You know, I was getting headaches in the early 80s, bloody noses in the middle of the night. About 1984, 1985, I saw the biggest ship, biggest thing I've ever seen in my life. This thing had to be 3/4 of a mile long to a mile long, at least 40 to 50 stories tall. It was hovering over the Mohawk Mountain House in upstate New York, which is like kind of between Accord and New Paltz. And, yeah, it was just huge. So things were quiet for a little while. I moved in with girl, her mom, and her sister, laying in the love seat one night. Next thing I know, I'm about 2 feet off the couch, and I feel an electric shock buzzing through me. I'm like, what the heck's going on, right? I immediately start thinking, maybe I'm touching a wire with my foot. But then I realize I'm still going, and then, poof, black, all right? Well, that was the first time when it started again, and at that point it lasted for a few years. I actually got to see somebody who I seen on the ship on one of these things talking about alien abductions here recently. I don't know if it was like the History Channel or something, but yeah, it was pretty crazy. And he kind of fibbed a little bit. He said he was excited about going there because he thought they were nice. There was other reasons why he was enjoying going up there at that point in time. So we move on to about 94. I started driving tractor trailer across country. I'm driving with my brother. I get out to about New Mexico. Bam, I get that electric shock again. I'm like, holy crap, what's going on? The next thing I know, I could see the truck driving down the road while I'm going up. Then blackout. Crazy, right? Now, truthfully, to be honest with you, I thought all this was like sleep paralysis or, you know, something like that, you know. I really didn't want to believe none of this. Still to this day, I really don't want to believe it. But I don't have a choice now. Yeah, we're moving on up. Now I'm living down here in Florida. And 2015, I was riding my bicycle, right? And I fell off my bicycle, landed, mashed up some ribs really bad, went to the hospital. They told me nothing was broken. Fine. I go home, start smoking a little bit of weed, get a really bad cough, and I could feel the bones pop. You know, I know they broke. And my breathing went really shallow, you know, and I'm thinking, I'm going to be okay, And then it gets to the point where I'm not getting enough oxygen and I can't get out of the chair. All right? Poof, I black out. I wake up at 3:30 in the morning. Oh, by the way, every time I've been taken, I seem to come back around 3:30 in the morning. What's up with 3:30 in the morning? So you know, like I come back and, you know, I got hypothermia. I'm in Florida, dude. I'm hypothermic, all right? I'm shivering. I'm froze to the bone. And I know what hypothermia is. I used to live in upstate New York. You know, I'd go hunting in the mountains. I've jumped in the water in the wintertime. I was hypothermic. No reason for it down here. Goes on. And, you know, 2015 was a busy year. You know, multiple trips, which I did not enjoy. I had one time where I actually woke up and I'm looking, and the walls are like lit up like I'm inside a fluorescent light bulb, dude. I swear to God. And there's like windows there on the side, and I can see stars out the window, and I feel that I'm not paralyzed. And the first thought that comes in my head is maybe I can kick them and get away. But the next thought is, where the hell am I? Sorry, where am I going to go, right? So I got that thought in my head, and the next thing I know, they're saying, you want to kick? Now they're telling me to kick. So what happens? My leg juts out as hard as it can, and I kick something, and I'll tell you, I limped on that foot for 2 years. Now we're here, and since August 18th, I've seen 5 of those shooting star orby things come in, and I've been up there a couple times, I guess. I don't know. One time You know, I'm like sitting in a chair or something. And to be honest, I kind of asked for this because after I realized I might have died and they might have brought me back to life and brought me back, I thought, let's ask for something. So I asked for knowledge. Mistake. Don't ask for stuff. So they set me in this chair, and I can hear like a female one telling me, you can't handle this, and the other says, let them try, you know. Boom. So first thing I see is our elements, our elements, except there's a lot more than I'm used to seeing. And then there's another page and another page, and it flips like a Rolodex as fast as it can. Then I'm looking at the stars, galaxies, planets, and I start getting a buzzing in my head like you would not believe. A buzz. And starts going to math. And by then, I'm screaming in agony, dude. I mean, screaming to the top of my lungs. I go out. I wake up. I'm in my bed. My head is still buzzing like someone plugged me into the damn wall. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable, okay? So, on one of my last trips, they tell me I need to move someplace, but don't tell me where. What the heck is that, man? I'm not a nut. I don't want to move. And I am confused as all can be, dude. This is something I never planned on talking about. This is something I wanted to take to my grave. But now I think I have to, or I am going to be tortured. So I don't know. I just wanted to give you a story. Oh, and by the way, apparently 2019 is going to be something massive. So hopefully we're all still here. And sorry if...
Wow. That's an incredible experience you've been having for a long time. Let me tell you. Let me ask you this before Third Phase of Moon's up. The show's just about done, but what does it feel like to be in 0G? And where were you? Were you in an alien craft at that time? Quickly.
I'm pretty sure I was. There was like a walkway. There's these giant things that went way down someplace that was really black. And it was, I don't know how to describe it. It's like being in water without the water, man. I don't know what to say. I've experienced that a few times, and I'll tell you, it's something you won't forget. It's one of the things I remember at 4 years old, so, yeah. You still there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here, man. I'm just listening to your story. What about the aliens? What do they look like? Give us some details.
To be honest, okay, it's going to get wackier. You ready for wackiness? Because I'm telling you, I'm ready to jump off the building. Apparently, I may have a half-breed alien child who's a girl. And to be honest, that's the only face I've ever seen clear. Now, when I seen her, there was like 4 little guys on each side of her with kind of big heads, but I can't remember facial details. I've never remembered their facial details. Now, there was one time when they brought me up, and here again, this is recent. I said, I want to see you, right? I want to see. So I get lifted out of my bed. I'm going up past the house. I can see the trees, and I got this overwhelming fear, dude. I mean, fear like you would not believe. Total fear. And I wouldn't open my eyes. I crawled up in a fetal position like a baby until I came back down. Now, I've been in situations where I've had guns put in my forehead. It didn't bother me. But for some reason, I'm going to cry like a little baby. I don't know, man. No, I don't know what to say. But my question for you, has anybody else you talk to, because I really don't listen to the show, I watch your stuff on YouTube, and you're like the realest one out there that I've seen so far. At least you try to keep some of the fake stuff off. Has anybody else said anything about a big change coming?
You know what, man? Things are happening, and big things are coming. Yeah, we get that all the time. What I want you to do is feel free to call back anytime, Third Phase of Moon Radio, on Friday, sir, because what you're sharing with us right now, people need to know. Thanks, man. Thanks for calling in.
Peace. I'll talk to you, man.
Keep in touch. Be safe, because things are going down. I wanted to thank everybody from around the world that joined us, and everybody on our flash chat: Billy, Hassel, Bradford, Blair, Brandon, Blount, Terry. I want to thank Corey Allard, Eric Salvador, Eugene Kelly, Iris Petu, Joe Widener, Lisa Walker, Rocky Metcalf, and Weird Stuff. Hey, thanks, Weird Stuff, for joining us. Everybody, keep your eyes on the skies. Join us on our YouTube channel for updates in regards to the UFO phenomenon happening right now. Join us next week, Friday. We'll be back taking calls from around the world. And you know what? We're not alone, people. Keep your eyes on the skies. Blake Cousins.